careful not to allow the chains of the mantika to drag into her eyes. So, and also, it's best if it as closely as possible follows the hairline. The ladies should be knowing something about this. Am I not correct? Right, yes. And it's not just small things of it. Usually what I do is and this also you have to be careful, because you can scratch your ears or something, if you're not careful. So just carefully put the pin and then turn it backwards and push it forward. But be careful because it hurts. No, you put it into the hair and then push backwards, kind of like catch the hair like that, so that it draws it tighter. Kind of like pulling it tight. A little leverage. And another important point is, as far as Radharani especially, but Krishna also, this Krishna is not as tilty as most Krishnas. These Krishnas are in a more jovial mood. But Radharani's head is slightly tilted. Like in Vrindavan, our Radharani is slightly tilted, is considerably tilted. So you have to be careful to line it up. Her bindi, you just follow her nose line.
Symmetry, huh?
Follow the nose line up. The bindi should be following the nose line, and the tika should also be following the nose line, so that it's actually in the center. Many times I've seen devotees that they'll think that Radharani, I don't know what they're thinking, but they think, and they'll put so that it's as if her head is straight up and down. It looks ridiculous, totally ridiculous, like child business. So you don't want to do that. And it happens so often. I've seen it over the years. You got it? Okay, so this is looking a little. Is there a veil now?
Was.
Because the veil is a little heavy, sometimes it's actually necessary to put some blue tack on it. Before you put the mantika on, say some blue tack to hold it down. But then you have the blue tack scenario again.
So most of the temple, you have already decorated, but most of the temple we don't have a facility like aircon. If you put a fan, you will match everything out. Most of the temple, like our temple, don't have the aircon or anything, don't have a season in Malaysia. But we put fan for the noon, any worshipping, daytime. The fan is well, means you will pull down some, like you putting the pin, you will lock down the.
Well, then you have to think ahead. Think ahead. And secure everything nicely in consideration of that.
Like this, we cannot put a fan for the deity's fan direct to the deity. To put a fan means the root, everything can be matched.
The fan, you're saying? Like a
Yes,
fan? Like this?
yes.
Yeah. Anyway, you do the best you can.
Before we put on the veil, do we put these flowers around the veil?
What's that?
Before we put on the veil, do we put these flowers?
No. Put the wig on first, then put the monkey tika, and then after monkey tika, you put on the veil. So we don't have a veil. Veil is an important topic of discussion. Because, look at the way you're wearing the veil. See how the veil is... I need a veil for that. In my next life.
No, next life.
Shiva Prabhupada's mercy. Maybe I'll go to the formal Leelas of Krishna. At least if I die in Vrindavan, which I'm hoping. Whatever you do, don't drag me out of the
Can we use?
No, the thing is, I need one that has, like, the way the deities are, there's a backing, and then there's the front design. So there's a few things that should be discussed concerning, how to actually put on the veil. Okay, let's see. This one does have a back and a front, okay? So, I see how they're doing it here in Mayapur, but I don't agree with it philosophically. No lady would put her veil on with the decorations on the inside. Isn't it? So, why would someone wear it like this so that when it's put out so you can see the nice cloth? There's other ways of showing the nice cloth. You see? So, the way I use it, there's a few different ways. But I can't deal with this. This is not, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. There's a couple ways of doing it. One is where you fold it in the middle, and then you fold it. This devotees also do. They fold it again and bring it up so that when you place it on Radharani's head, you don't want to come too far forward, because Prabhupada said that the hairline, Radharani's hairline is very beautiful, so you don't want to completely cover her hairline, like maybe an inch or so, depending on how big the deity is. Where what? No, that's softer is more difficult to do. So, you want to anchor the veil into her hair without, scratching her. So you just put a pin here.
How did you fold the veil?
You have to first you find. Oops. But this isn't the only way to do it. This is one way of doing it. I guess it's the same. So you just fold it in half, and that automatically finds your middle. Sometimes, depending on how her arms are going, you have to adjust a little bit. You might need it a little longer on one side than the other. But that's because, especially if you're going to bring it around front, many times if it's on this side will end up hanging down longer, and this side coming under her elbow will be forced by the elbow to be shorter, because it has to go kind of around. So if you want it to look the same length, you have to make this side a little longer. But there's ways that you can do the veil, which can end up looking almost like this on her side, complementing. we can arrange for a projector sometime in the next couple of days or so.
Let me know what day you want.
Yeah, I have many pictures of my dressing and Mukunda Dutt's dressing, the head Pujari there in Bali, and also Anada. Anada is getting very good. He's one of my, you could say, best students. He's doing really nicely. So there's when we see the photographs, then we can show different varieties of things. Right now, we're just going to give some kind of an idea, and then hopefully, if I don't ramble on too much, we'll have a little time for. But I was really hoping that Karma Chaitanya would be here to do the turban. You know, he should be doing the turban for you. He'll introduce you into his style of turbans, and then later on, tomorrow or the next day, I can also show you a few different. He can do some turbans, and I can do some turbans also. You can have a different look at different styles. So here, I'm folding it in half, and then bring this up. The reason why you bring it up is so that you can easily just flip it over her head. Pin it in place. And then, because you already have the middle, and it's right here, you see? You already have the middle. And one way of doing it that many devotees do, this is also a little artificial. The other way that I objected to earlier is kind of totally artificial. This is a little artificial too, but it does give you a chance to see the cloth also. So then this would come forward. It depends on which way you want to swing the garland and how much motion you want to. Sometimes you want to put the dress in front, but usually I like to put it forward like this a little, and then just like, see how I done with Shun? So we need another string here. We need two, maybe one string here. One more string. You can pull it out here from the middle. Maybe another string here. Maybe even another string over here. Sometimes, just to make her look like she's twirling around a little, like I'll have the dress coming like this, and then if the backdrop is close, I'll take advantage of the backdrop, although it kind of pins her up in the backdrop, but I'll take advantage of the backdrop and pin the dress back like one string to here, and then on the back maybe two pins on the back like that, so that it gives it this kind of look. Otherwise, this is a simple way. But personally, I don't like to see the deity just kind of like stretched, all the cloth stretched out. There's a tendency to do that, and some devotees do that, and that's okay for them. But for myself, I prefer to see her more. And then this the veil can also come, so that it's looking like it's rounded. It's going to be hard to do with this cloth. This is not. We can give you a little idea. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want it to be like this. Everything just hung up. And sometimes devotees who are obviously a little inexperienced. I mean, why would Radharani's be, hung up like that? Country.
You're going to put that piece on now and do the hair later, or you're going to first put the hair across rather than the shoulder if you're going to do that?
Yeah, that's a very good point. Thank you. You can actually, you don't have to put her hair in the front. It's not a rule that you have to put the hair in the front. But if you want to put the hair in the front, then it's usually better before you hang the veil. Even you can put the hair on first, but then because, and even look, even if the braid that has the kuchi that has the color, like we have in Vrindavan, we have two. One kuchi, one color on one braid and another kuchi on another color, another braid, so we can choose between. So then you just pull it, even though this is on her left side, I'm pulling it over to the right side, if you want to put it on the right side, or if the color that you want is on the left side, on the right side, and you want to put it over her left shoulder, like I was mentioning, then here is on the left side. You don't want the kuchi to go dragging all the way down to the ground. Her feet are here. Usually the kuchi should be up a little, around her knees area. Not so far down. Radharani has a long braid, which is luxurious, but it is not so long. And so usually, if you want to, you have to make sure that this fabric, is in the back. And in order to get it the length that you want, you may have to pin it to her shoulder. And pinning it to her shoulder means being very careful. You just catch a little cloth and pull the cloth out from her body and then push and enter into the braid again so that it holds it in place. So there's different ways you can swing. This is not put together very nicely. It should be even, or maybe one a little forward. It's certainly not like this. As far as the braid is concerned, if you want to put something,
you can put also jasmine flower around like a string, right?
Flowers come last.
Last.
If you want to wrap any strands of pearls or whatever around, you have to start at the bottom. Because if you start at the top, either you run out too soon, or you have too much left over, and then what are you going to do with it? Usually we have, like, in Vrindavan we use clasp, like a hair clasp, So then I put starting from the back side, and if you're going to wrap something, like a flower garland or a strand of jewels, I do it this way so that the line which is generated is coming in this direction, not in that direction. Because the tendency is that this will lead you more to the center of the deity than this. This will have a tendency to lead your eyes away, whereas this will lead you into the deity. You put a pin there, and then usually I fix it with a clasp. And then go either every other, see this braid, so every other one or every third one. That gives you a little space also. You can put flower garland around, or you can put some decorated flowers inside. then you have to pin it once you get to the top. So there's different things you can do with the braid also. What I like to do sometimes is I like to make it look like a snake, because in the description of how Rupa Goswami, remember how Rupa Goswami,
A cobra.
when the crippled Vaishnava was coming along and Rupa Goswami was in his meditation, he was singing Radharani, looking like there's a description of how he's looking like a snake. Oh, what? Yeah, maybe I'm getting
He
the.
was offended.
Yeah, maybe it's a different story. I can't remember. It's slipping my mind. There's a description of how he's looking like that. It was written by someone. Do you remember? Can you remember the story? No?
Yeah, Rupa Goswami, when she showed the Bhagavad Gita, he was thinking.
It was looking like a snake,
Yes.
right? No, this was a different incident, I think. But he was saying, well, look out! There's a snake. You know. I can't remember the exact. Okay, but I like to sometimes think. Usually, if you want to make it look like a snake, you have to keep it a little longer, because then you're going to make it go like this, right? So you need a little more length for it to come down to its position. But the way I make it look like this is another thing where you have to be careful. Is you can see you put it into the back of the braid, like that, put it through some hair, then you just very carefully snag the cloth here without touching her. Push it through the cloth and then back into the braid like that. See? Hiding the pin behind it. So that it can come over the garland even. And then back. Yeah, but it's it's a little crunky. You want to put it back over this way and pin it here. This is just one way of doing it. There are many ways of doing it. And then you can bring this over. And depending on what kind of ends you have, these are a little, you can see, they're not really cooperating. But you might want to pin them over in one direction or another. And we'll fudge it again.
Do we use threads to secure the ends of a thread with the tissue, or do we use
No,
threads?
Huh? Where?
Secure
What?
these ends of a thread with this. We use threads.
Black thread.
Okay, not like that.
No. I think so. See, you can pin it in place. You usually have to pin all three. You have to make the best use of that bargain. Oh yeah, one other instruction that I feel is important. You see that? Bent pins are no-no. Never, ever, ever put bent pins back into the pin cushion. Because the next pujari that comes along, he needs a pin, he pulls it out, and if it's a bent pin, he can hurt the deity. So you never put bent pins back in the pin cushion.
Does Subhadra have hair?
Does she have hair on the deity form? That depends on how you're worshiping the deity. Certainly Subhadra has hair.
Because some I've heard like different yogis say different versions. Some yogis say they've never seen Subhadra Maharani worship the and some say like she does have.
Well, Subhadra Maharani certainly has hair.
She doesn't wear hair. She doesn't wear hair.
She usually doesn't wear hair, though. Jagannath doesn't wear hair, you know, and
Because the form's completely.
it's a different, yeah, it's a different. But she has hair. But you can meditate on, you know, it's a different, yeah.
We don't need to be creative in our worship.
Yeah.
Especially.
Just like one time, I remember in Vrindavan, the curtains opened, and there was Krishna Balaram, and Krishna has, this hand is down, right, on his head, and this hand here, and he had a blue tack to the top of his hand was a Ganesha. You know, come on, kids. You know, or else we see, you know, Krishna Balaram, you know, like with 2 6-shooters. He has.
Well, Bhakti Bihari with a cell phone and a pair of jeans.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. You know, Krishna Balaram is holding 2 cowherd sticks. You know, why would Krishna Balaram be holding 2 cowherd sticks? Where, anywhere in any Leela did you ever hear that he was walking around with 2 cowherd sticks? You know, the better heard you with.
That was actually one of my questions that I wanted to ask. There's creativity that and you know that each person has when addressing the. I've seen a picture of deities looking like Mr. and Mrs. Bob.
Yeah.
And so where do you draw that line?
My personal opinion is that there are parameters. As much as possible, it's not that we want to bring Krishna into the realm of Christmas trees. You don't want to decorate Krishna like a Christmas tree. You know, and maybe you don't want to dress him. You're like, why don't we, you know, dress him up like a witch or something on Halloween? Dress Radharani like a witch and dress Krishna like a hobgoblin. You know, or maybe we should make him look like a jack-o'-lantern. You know, at least in America, you know what Halloween is, maybe. You know, there's only so far you can really go with it.
Did the Pujari at Banka Bihari get out of Vrindavan alive?
I think so. He was protected. Yeah.
That Santa dress actually comes from a Coca-Cola commercial.
Yeah. Yeah. See, the thing is that it tends to bring our deity worship into the realm of material concepts. I mean, admittedly, there are various features about the worship which are, you know, I don't want to criticize anyone, but in my personal opinion, there are many gorgeous dresses that we could dress them with on if we have to think that Christmas Day is so important. I don't even know why we really have to think that Christmas Day isn't so important. It's just like sometimes devotees get all jacked up about New Year's. But, you know, the Gaudiya New Year is not, you know, the 1st of January, please. We make more of a hoopla about celebrating New Year and firecrackers and, you know, because it's changing, but that's a Christian, you know, concept. Why do we have to integrate? You know, it's just like we offer Krishna what he wants. You know, what does he want? You know, he wants Radharani. But aside from that, you know, he likes rasgullas. Just like one time, Srila Prabhupada, just one incident, I remember Gopati Prabhu was the head cook in Chicago. And Gopati Prabhu told me this personally, that Prabhupada called him into the room. he had his secretary go down and fetch Gopi to call him into the room. Prabhupada had received the Maha plate from the deities. Sometimes Prabhupada would eat directly off the plate. You see, the deities plate. He said, I can do this, but you cannot. But there was, he noticed something about the offering that was not to his liking. And he questioned Gopi, what is this? He was tapping on this, what was the daily sweet, right? So then Gopi says, Srila Prabhupada, it's a carob covered peanut butter bar, Srila Prabhupada. Carob covered peanut butter bar. Carob covered peanut butter. You know how everyone likes, at least in America, carob covered or chocolate covered peanut butter, like these Reese's peanut butter cups that we used to get when we were kids. No, so carob covered peanut butter. So then Prabhupada chastised him, saying, don't offer your speculations to Krishna. He says, I've given you so many nice sweets, gulab jam, rasgulla, rasmalai, sweet balls. He was saying like this. But he says, carob is for hippies. Don't offer it to the deities. Even if it's not intoxicating. No. But see, this is the point I'm making here, is here's a situation where according to our material conceptions, we're thinking to offer something that we like to the deities. But the question is, does Krishna really enjoy being dressed up like Mr. and Mrs. Claus? Who's going to judge it? I guess the Guru will have to judge it. But if the Guru...
One time in Los Angeles, when they had the small deities, devotees were making small chapatis and small samosas and all this type of stuff. And Prabhupada didn't appreciate this, they should make regular
size.
Yeah.
They were making miniature for the miniature.
Yeah. But that's the thing, it's like if we speculate on the worship, this is incorrect. We shouldn't follow according to Guru Sarana Shastra. So the Acharya explains very clearly what to do. He showed the devotees how to make chapatis, he showed them how to make samosas, etc.
Yeah.
So then we speculate, because Krishna is small, therefore we have to make small. But Krishna is not small. Krishna is completely know what he comes in.
Yeah.
So we don't need to put hair on shelves, hair on subhadra. As we've seen worship in Peru or other reputable temples, we follow that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Prabhupada was very much concerned about that. When he came to Mexico, he took the from the plate because of that system with distribution. And we say, this prasad is horrible. So did he worship so well?